All praises due to the Most High, family. I'm doing a quick movie review. I'm going to have another one in a second. I just finished watching Him, the new Jordan Peele movie with Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Withers. And y'all, I'ma definitely need an explainer video, a breakdown to explain what I just seen. Now, it was an entertaining movie. Sometimes I'll be falling asleep in a movie for sitting down too long. This one had me locked in on the edge of my seat, fully awake, because I was bought in. I was tied in. So I don't want to do spoiler heavy, because y'all got to go see the movie. But I just want to talk about the themes, the acting, the ending. So obvious standout. Nobody's gonna be surprised that Marlon Wayans is the standout actor of the movie. Tyreek Withers did well. I'm not trying to downplay it at all. He did a great job, but Marlon Wayans' character was just above and beyond. And I know, we were all excited because this is a non-comedy role for Marlon Wayans, but his history of comedy roles made this character even better because, while he's serious in most of the movie, he doesn't have all, he's not all there. So when he starts laughing, we've seen Marlon laugh in similar ways, but for comedic purposes. If I were to still frame some of these shots of Marlon Wayans laughing during this movie, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's I seen him laugh just like that. And you have, but under this context, it was totally different. It was totally different. But I think that familiarity with his acting career before this made it more impactful in this movie. One thing also, I was kind of confused by the trailer. I don't know if I was the only one or some of y'all were too. I thought Reggie White, Marlon Wayans' character, was a receiver. I thought he played wide receiver in this movie, but he's a quarterback like Cam Cade is, like Tyreek Withers' character. And like I said, we're not gonna spoil too much, but so I thought he was preparing Cam Cade to be his quarterback so that he could receive the ball, because what's significant about Isaiah White about Isaiah White is rumors that this is going to be his last season. So I'm thinking he needed a quarterback to help him get through his last season as a receiver. But no, that's not the case. He is a quarterback, and so he's really grooming Cam Cade as another quarterback. Now, there's a lot, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's what type of movie this is. You could pull away so many different things, especially if you're familiar with a lot of the symbolism in this movie, because there was a lot of religious symbolism. The whole movie's bathed in it. Everywhere you look, it's some religious symbolism to the crosses, blood, like this concept of sacrifice. Those are just the ones that come to the top of my mind. And also, like, not just religious stuff, like also some occult stuff too. Like there's, we all have heard, especially in sports or even like music, really, is where like we be using the term the GOAT. But so, this is all symbolism that is all over, all up and down this movie. Okay, so I'm trying to think of how to share my experience without spoiling anything for real for y'all. This was just a lot about, like, sacrifice was to me like the biggest theme on a bunch of levels, like personal sacrifice, like hard work, like literal sacrifice, like, yeah, man, it was kind of heavy in that way. Also, I don't know if y'all seen this. I saw somewhere, I don't remember where, and it was a minute ago, that this was possibly like a horror movie take on CTE, and that was also kind of evident. I don't know if they was right. I don't know if that's something that Jordan Peele said. I don't know if that's something that was confirmed, but maybe that shaped the way I viewed what was happening. But it was a lot of like head trauma, like, but not all of it was in a football context. What I think they were doing was like comparing football and the physical trauma that comes in the game of football, because we all know it's a violent sport. NFL stands for not for long. The injury rate is 100% because everybody's going to sustain some type of injury playing football. Football is, like, some people refer to it as a gladiator sport. And so I think some of these images and scenes were to compare the type of physical damage that football players experience to other ways of sustaining physical damage to your body that, like, we would absolutely not be okay with. I don't know if I'm articulating that properly, but we're okay with people getting injured in football. We're okay with people even dealing with lifelong injuries and sacrifices that they made to gain generational wealth, to reposition their families, to change the trajectory of their life and the circumstances around them. Like, we're generally okay with that. But when you compare the type of damage that your body sustains to, like, other ways that could also damage your body in the same way, we would not be okay with that. We're okay with you suffering head trauma from playing football, but we would not say, hey, sit here and let me crack this bat across your head 50 times for $20 million. Like, nobody would be okay with that. That didn't happen in the movie, but that's just the example off the top of my mind without spoiling anything. Anyhow, like I said, I need somebody to review this. I need somebody to break this down for me. There's so many details and Easter eggs to dive into, but I thought it was a story that kept me on the edge of my seat. It made me feel uneasy, which, like, just helped me lock in. It was not boring at all. The acting was excellent from the two leads, and it was an interesting plot.